We had to learn a lot when constructing our film opening. I had to learn how to use the settings on the camera so that we could record in the maximum resolution and aspect ratio to ensure the detail we wanted on our footage. A lot of us were unfamiliar with how to use a camera and camera equipment. Our preliminary task had, however, given us a brief insight into this, but with a different camera. One difficult shot we had to perform was the panning shot across the room at the beginning of the opening. For this, we had to learn and practice how we would maneuver the camera on the tripod in order to create the smoothest movement possible to fit with the elegant and simplistic style of the opening. To combat this, we practiced beforehand and took a lot of takes to ensure we got the right shot, which was also edited in post-production. We also used soft boxes at first in order to create the artificial light to use in the dark room to prevent the film from becoming grainy. At first we thought it would be a good professional way of creating light and shadow. We had never used them before and had learned during the filming process. However, in the end we decided that the light created was too intense for the dark and dull look we wanted to give the film, so eventually we just used a torch to create the light and shadow we wanted, but with less intensity. Another technology that I had to use when creating my piece was a new editing software that I had not used before. When editing my preliminary task, I had used iMovie to cut the film together. When we came to film our final piece, we did not have access to the Macs, and therefore we could not use iMovie. I then had to use Windows Movie Maker to cut the film together. I had not learned to use this program yet, and had to pick up skills as I went along. For example, I had to find a way to mix the sound levels and have multiple sounds played at once, and also to remove unwanted sounds. I had to look online for certain tutorials on how to add transitions and other aspects to my piece. So overall, I did learn a lot about editing software when cutting my piece together. A small problem my group and I would face involving technology was getting the television channel to appear on the screen. This was a major part to the continuity of our story. We first wanted to create it on a YouTube video and then show it on the screen, but afterwards we thought it would be best to add in the audio during post-production. We then resorted in the end to using a PowerPoint presentation on a laptop and using a cable to display it on the screen before adding sound later on. During the filming, we did not have any major problems on set, making the filming process relatively easy. In the future, I would not change much if I were to perform a similar task. Also, the research that we made when planning our project was mostly made online. We used websites such as YouTube and Wikipedia to study different genres as well as individual films. This helped us to see the generic conventions associated with the genres that interested us. It was a huge contributor to the structure of our final opening. In addition to this, my research and planning was heavily reliant on watching films of the genre to gain further knowledge of them. I watched various crime dramas, such as Heat, which our film would take a lot of inspiration from. Therefore, several streaming platforms as well as DVDs would help to create our opening as well.